Hello students, welcome back. Yesterday we have studied about polarity and dipole moment. Dipole, not dipole moment, I'm sorry. So yesterday we have studied about covalent molecules. What are covalent molecules? What are its type? That is single, double, triple. Then we move on to the next topic, that is polar and non-polar covalent molecules. From polar covalent molecules we studied about what is dipole, how they arises, and how the polar molecule in the solution form converts into ionization, converts into the process of ionization. This is what we have studied yesterday. Today we will study about some covalent molecules and their structures, and then we will move on to the properties and compare both the ionic and covalent molecule compounds. Then what is the effect of electricity, and yeah, this will be end of today's topic. This will be the end. And in the next week also we have two classes, no? So in the next week we will be studying coordinate bond, and one day we will complete this chapter on one day, and in the second day we have 2 days in per week classes, no? So in the second way I will try to complete these last year questions as much as possible, right? All right, so yeah, moving on to the today's topic. Today's topic is, yeah, okay, so you see this, this is the table they have given. In that table they have explained how, like, the group, if they are comparing the atoms with the chlorine, the covalent bond chloride of chlorides, then how the bonding changes. Okay, anion they have taken as chlorine. In all the cases it is chlorine. Only the atoms of the different group changes. From group 1, if I'll take, it is ionic, then ionic also. Third group also is partially ionic, partially covalent. Then it is converting into covalent, 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 and covalent. So you can see that covalent character increases as we go across the period. Similarly, if they are talking about oxides, if they talk about the bonding, then same, ionic solid, ionic solid, ionic solid, then covalent, 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 right? From the solid it is converting into gas, right? Solid, then liquid, then sometimes gas, right? So it has written here, as we move across the period, the electrovalent character of chlorides and oxides decreases. Electrovalent character decreases, point to be noted, right? Okay, now what they have written, yeah, let's move on to attain the stable electronic configuration. Okay, this is the part of this topic. Okay, so now let's move on to the structures, starting from hydrogen molecule. I'll make it in my like in this. So what your homework is, you have to do practice. You have to make these diagrams at home yourself. You have to make these diagrams in rough notebook. I am also making to show in the video. You also have to make all these diagrams yourself by your own in rough notebook, right? All right, so the first is hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule. How hydrogen molecule is formed? This is one hydrogen, this is another hydrogen. One hydrogen has one electron, the another has one electron. Both will share and will form duplet. So this is the single covalent bond of hydrogen, or you can write like this also, correct? Now second, chlorine, Cl2 molecule. You see, chlorine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So chlorine has 7 electrons in its valence shell. It just needs 1 electron to fulfill its octet. This is the way. So this chlorine will share this electron, and this chlorine will share this electron, and it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 7 electron I can write here. Similarly this chlorine 1 2 3 4 5 6, इसका एक electron I'll write here. So this is how it forms covalent bond, or I can write just like this, or I can write like this directly. Correct. Moving on to the third example, that is N2 molecule. All right, this is nitrogen. Nitrogen has how many electrons in its valence shell? 5. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Similarly this nitrogen has also 1 2 3 4 and 5. Correct. So it needs how many electron to fulfill its octet? 5 electron in a valence shell में it needs 3 चाहिए. So 3 शेयर करेंगे. इस नाइट्रोजन को भी 3 एक्स्ट्रा चाहिए. इस नाइट्रोजन also needs 3 एक्स्ट्रा इलेक्ट्रॉन. So ये हो गया 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Similarly ये नाइट्रोजन भी हो गया 8, or I can write like 1 2 3. This is triple covalent bond, right? Moving to the next example, they have given CCl4. Fourth example, CCl4. This is carbon. Carbon has 4 electrons in its valence shell. Oh, carbon, yeah. 4 electrons in its valence shell, right? Okay, 4 electrons in its valence shell. Chlorine has how many? 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So chlorine will take 1 electron from this carbon and complete its octet. 8 हो गया ना? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Similarly this chlorine will also take 1 electron from this carbon and will complete its octet. And same with this chlorine also. 7 तो इसके अपने हैं. It will take 1 electron from this carbon and it will fulfill its octet. Same will happen with this chlorine also. I don't have much space, so it is a bit congested. Now carbon has to fulfill its 8. How will it fulfill its 8? 2 from here, 2 from here. मतलब एक from it is both the electrons are not of chlorine. 1 electron is of chlorine, 1 is of this carbon. इसका अपना एक carbon है, electron है. So 2 electron here है 4, 2 6 and 2 8. Understood? 2 from 4 electrons are from its own. 4 electrons are of its own. 4 electrons are of chlorine, different chlorines. So this is how CCl4 is formed. Let's write it again. Carbon 1 2 3 4. Chlorine 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Here also 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Here also 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So इसका octet, and similarly it will also complete its octet. This is how electronic arrangement of covalent molecule goes. In short, I can write like this: single covalent bond, right? Okay, moving on to the next, methane. This is fifth is methane. Methane is CH4, right? So this is one carbon, 1 2 3 4 electrons in its valence shell. Hydrogen has 1. It will complete its duplet. This will also complete its duplet, and this hydrogen will also complete its duplet. Now this carbon has to complete its octet. So 2 4 6 and 2 8, right? 4 electrons of its own and 4 electrons of 4 different hydrogens. Or I can write it like C single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond. Methane. Correct. Next example which they have given is of water. H2O. So this is oxygen. Oxygen has how many electrons? Oxygen has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. It has 6 electrons in its outermost shell. hydrogen has only one and this hydrogen will have only one. So hydrogen will complete its duplet. Oxygen has to make its octet. So 6 to 3 iske paas already. It will take 2 electrons from these two hydrogen and will make complete its octet. In short, I can write like this, H2O. Okay. One last example is of ammonia, NH3. So nitrogen has how many electrons? Nitrogen has 5 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has to make 8. It has to complete its octet. So it will take 3 electrons from 3 different hydrogen. एक यहाँ से लेगा, one it will take from here and one it will take from here. This is how it will complete its octet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. और नाइट्रोजन तो अपना हाइड्रोजन तो अपना ड्यूप्लेट बनाएगा ही बनाएगा. It will be like this, N single bond H, single bond H, single bond H. Right? अच्छा, shapes they have not discussed about the shapes. That's it. So beta, these are few examples of covalent bonds where this NH3 is polar. Similarly, this H2O is also polar. H2O is also polar, right? But methane is non-polar. Methane is non-polar because there is no difference, very slight difference in the electronegativities. Next, CCl4, again non-polar. अच्छा, nitrogen तो same ही atoms है, so definitely it will be non-polar. When there are same atoms, there will be no poles, electrons will be in the center. Cl2 non-polar, H2 non-polar. Understood? So today's homework is you have to make these all diagrams by your own. Okay, you have to do written practice. Videos में देखना is very easy, but as soon as you start making it, you will find it bit difficult. One more homework beta. Okay, let's study this. Homework तो क्या ही दें आपको. Basically, this is the differences in the properties of electrovalent and covalent compounds. In electrovalent compound, generally there are ions. In covalent compound, there are particles or molecules. Ions नहीं होते हैं, right? So there are hard solid ions and there are gases and soft ions. Reasons you see yourself. I have explained each and everything. Read it yourself, try to study it yourself, right? Generally, ionic solids, electrovalent compounds have very high melting and boiling point, but covalent compounds have low melting and boiling point. क्यों? क्योंकि वो आराम से टूट जाते हैं. Bonds are easily breakable. On the contrary, in case of ionic solids or electrovalent compounds, we cannot break the ions. Why we cannot break the ions? Because they are formed by very strong electrostatic force of attraction. In solid form, they do not conduct electricity because there is electron. जो conduct करता है electricity is electrons or the ions. Either electrons are responsible for the conductivity of compound or ions. So in solid form, there is no free ion, but as soon as you will dissolve it in water, for instance NaCl, solid form में electricity conduct नहीं कर सकता है, but as soon as you will mix it in water, it will dissociate to form Na positive and Cl negative. This Na positive and Cl negative ions will conduct electricity. These ions will conduct electricity, right? क्योंकि free ये लोग carriers होते हैं. Ions and electrons are the carriers of electricity. ये इधर से उधर जैसे डिलीवरी मैन होता है ना, अमेजोन डिलीवरी होता है आपका, दिल्ली से जहाँ भी आपका सामान है वहाँ से आपका आता है देहरादून आपके होम पर, आपका लोकेशन पे. Similarly, electrons and ions are responsible for the passage of, for the transfer of electricity. So in molten state, in fused state or in aqueous state, they are good conductors, but not in solid state. If I'll talk about covalent compound, then again यहाँ पर electrons responsible होते हैं, ठीक है. सॉरी, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स नहीं होते हैं, सो ये दे डू नॉट कंडक्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आयंस होते ही नहीं है, देयर इज नो आयंस. नेक्स्ट, डिसोसिएशन. तो जैसे एज सुन एज यू डिजोल्व इट इन वाटर, दे स्टार्ट moving from one place to another place, which is responsible for the passage of electric current. It is written very clearly here. Solubility. All the ionic compounds are soluble in water but not in organic solvents. Organic solvent means oil, kerosene oil, mustard oil, almond oil, different types of organic compounds में ये लोग soluble नहीं होते, but they are soluble in water. ठीक है. कोवलेंट कंपाउंड का solubility if I'll talk, then they generally are insoluble in water but dissolve in organic solvent, right? Now here chemical reactions are very fast. Chemical reaction fast क्यों होती है? Because of these ions. These ions, you know this NaCl जो हम अपना common salt day to day life में हम लेते हैं, आपने कभी ध्यान दिया होगा when a student or when a child or a patient faints, जब उसको चक्कर आ जाते हैं, वो चक्कर खा के गिर जाता है, so the best thing to be given to that particular person is to give चीनी नमक का solution, sugar salt solution. Why sugar and salt solution? sugar plus salt दिया जाता है. शुगर दी जाती है ताकि उसके अंदर कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स जाए, एनर्जी जाए. कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स आर द एनर्जी बूस्टर्स ऑफ आवर बॉडी, है ना. दे प्रोवाइड एनर्जी, दे आर एनर्जी गिविंग कंपाउंड्स. सो शुगर इज गिवन ताकि उसके अंदर जान आए, वो बच्चा थोड़ा खड़ा होना स्टार्ट हो. Salt, why is given? Why salt is given? Salt contains Na and Cl. This Na आयन आपकी बॉडी में जितना रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन हो रहा है, जितना आपकी बॉडी में रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन हो रहा है, लाइक मैं आपको समझा रही हूँ, आप समझ रहे हैं, आपका ब्रेन जितना काम कर रहा है, उसमें सोडियम आयन इज वेरी प्लेज वेरी वाइटल रोल. इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द लाइक इलेक्ट्रिक करंट जो आपकी बॉडी में पास होता है ना, नर्व्स में भी इलेक्ट्रिक करंट पास होता है, जिसकी वजह से सिग्नल्स इधर से उधर जाते हैं. फॉर इंस्टेंस आई एम टीचिंग यू समथिंग, सो आपकी एयर्स से आपके ब्रेन में जा रहा है, फिर ब्रेन उस पर फंक्शन कर रहा है, फिर फंक्शन करके आप उसे समझ रहे हो, फिर आपका ब्रेन इफ़ यू आर राइटिंग समथिंग, सो आपका ब्रेन आपको बोल रहा है ऐसे 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 लिखो. तो ये सारा सिग्नल्स का काम हो रहा है, एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट पे सिग्नल्स जा रहे हैं. उस सिग्नल के लिए कौन जा रहा है? दैट इज Na पॉजिटिव आयन. सो इसीलिए जब कोई बच्चा, कोई पर्सन, कोई फेंट होता है, इट इज़ एडवाइजेबल टू गिव शुगर सॉल्ट सॉल्यूशन. सॉल्ट से ब्रेन काम करेगा, शुगर से एनर्जी आएगी, राइट. सो आप ये लगा लीजिए नैनो सेकेंड से भी कम टाइम में आपका प्रोसेसिंग हो रहा है, ठीक है. अगर इफ आई स्लैप यू, ठीक है, तो ऐसे एक स्लैप ऐसे आता है, आप एकदम से आईज अपना बिल्कुल ऐसे अंदर कर लेते हो, आपके अंदर वो एकदम से रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन स्टार्ट हो जाता है. वो नैनो सेकेंड से भी कम टाइम लेता है. इट टेक्स इवन वेरी लेस टाइम देन नैनो सेकेंड. एकदम रिप्लाई आता है ना. मैं आपको ऐसे ऐसे करके स्लैप करूँगी, आप एकदम से अपने आप को डिफेंड करेंगे. इफ आई एम ऑफेंडिंग यू, यू विल डिफेंड योर सेल्फ. सो वो बहुत स्पीड का काम होता है. लाइक स्पाइनल कॉर्ड पे जा रहा है आपका सिग्नल, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड से फटाफट से आपके फेस पे आ रहा है, आपके हैंड्स पे आ रहा है, आप डिफेंड करो, आपकी पोजीशन ले रहे हो आप, या आपने तवे पे हाथ रख दिया. तो वट एवर यू आर डूइंग दैट इज़ वेरी गोइंग अंडर वेरी नैनो सेकेंड ऑफ टाइम, बहुत कम टाइम लेता है. दैट मीन्स दीज आयंस हैव वेरी ग्रेट स्पीड टू गो फ्रॉम हेयर टू और देयर, राइट. सो ये जो स्पीड दिखाते हैं दैट इज़ वेरी रैपिड इन एक्वस सॉल्यूशन. एज सुन एज यू डिजोल्व इट इन वाटर, बहुत स्पीडली ये रिएक्शंस करते हैं. ऑन द कॉन्ट्ररी, जो आपके कोवलेंट होते हैं, दे आर वेरी स्लो, दे आर वेरी स्लो. इतना स्पीडली क्यों काम करते हैं कोवलेंट कंपाउंड्स? सॉरी, वाई दे दीज इलेक्ट्रोवेलेंट कंपाउंड्स, नॉट कोवलेंट, इलेक्ट्रोवेलेंट कंपाउंड्स इतना स्पीडली काम क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ दीज आयंस, ये बहुत स्पीड होती है इनके अंदर. ऑल राइट, ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच, बाय बाय.